Stay on top of stories about stocks that may impact the market or your portfolio today in Stocks Making News.
Some interesting things happening over at Gilead Sciences. Tracey, Ryniec, Dave Bartosiak here to fill us in on some of what's going on. Tracey, there's some good stuff happening there. Overall, company reported a profit when they reported earnings last time around. They've announced a share buyback, hiked the dividend a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, all presumably good stuff.
Yeah, you're not hearing that from many companies right now. So it did catch my eye. I'm like, what? They're raising the dividend? Most people are cutting or they don't have one at all. So yeah, they did raise the dividend 10%, and they're doing a huge $12 billion share buyback.
Yeah.
So they are definitely giving back to the shareholders. The quarter was good, like you said.
Yeah, but on the flip side, though, one thing that analysts are noting is that the company forecast 2016 revenue to be slightly below its 2015 revenue. That's kind of a departure for the company.
Right. They've been growing like wildfire the last 4 to 5 years. They've been in this really strong cycle of earnings growth and revenue growth. But now, being these drug companies, is kind of what happens. They have to have the drugs continually in the pipeline to grow. And sometimes there's a slowdown. So there is one right now. Some of the analysts, everyone knows that this is what's going on, but you can definitely see it in the earnings estimates, which have been trending higher, but they're actually expected to be down year over year, a little bit coming forward here in 2016. These might be adjusted a little bit depending on what the analysts do after this last earnings report. But again, another 8% decline for next year. And that's really what you don't want to see when you're looking to, buy a company. That you want the earnings, obviously, and the revenues to be going the other direction. But everything else looks good here. They do have $26 billion in cash.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of talk that they're going to, deploy that cash to try to boost the earnings in some kind of big M&A deal. So that, and the company doesn't deny that. Like, that's still on the table as well.
Is that really the only way you think they can bolster long-term growth is through M&A?
Yeah, that happens a lot with these companies. That's the easiest way. They've used that method before, so it would not be surprising that that would be the direction that they're going to go in.
All right, Dave, deploy some good news about the company stock. Last I saw, it was down 18% since the beginning of this year.
Does it have to be good news? Yeah, it doesn't look so good. So if you take a look at the stock chart, you've got a big, thick band of volume that has gone out well above where the current price is. So you see this, my pretty little red and green chart here I got going on. So like the 102s, 105s, that's where a lot of this volume went out. We're below that right now at 85.59. Looks like the next kind of band is just around $80. So what I'm hoping is that if the stock comes down to $80, then you could start to peck at it a little bit there. Maybe it'll turn around. It'll finally find some support. Because I know Tracey was talking earlier before we got in here about how it's, 7 times?
7 times right now.
Like that?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cheap, right? But the problem is that right now we're just hoping for support at 80. We don't really see that right now with the stock at 85. It has been tumbling for a while. The commodity channel index is oversold here still. We haven't seen a bounce yet. It's below its 21-day moving average. So everything from a technical perspective is telling me that the momentum is still in the negative direction for Gilead.
So still too early to clearly say buy more or sell?
Right. And I wouldn't come out here and say, okay, let's go short on this thing and slap it down further.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens at this price level with, give or take a few bucks. And if there are signs of a reversal, then I'll be the first to tell you about it. But right now, it's not there.
All right. Maybe another one for the Let's Revisit This Later book, right? Thanks for all of that. And if you want more information on stocks in general, commentary, other stock articles, stock picks, stock picking strategies maybe. If you're not watching this video on our website, Zacks.com, get on over because you can link to all of that right off the homepage. But if you're watching this video on the YouTube platform, don't forget that you can subscribe to our videos there and even comment on them. With Tracey and Dave, I'm Terry Ruffalo.